the blender couldn't distribute stuff. Why did you start while I'm talking about my blender? What is the matter with you?
I don't know, but you got that nice protein shake with that little milk mustache there
I
going on.
know, I know. Well, at least
It is.
at
It
least
is.
it lightens up the mustache instead of darkening it.
It
At
is
least
just so fascinating to listen to you talk about your protein shake. That's very white and very good for you. You know.
it's more purple because it's got blueberries in it. It's like a light purple though. It's like lavender.
Eh, okay, I'll give you that. What's going on, Jay Lucian? Anybody else who might be watching right now? What we're doing here is the top five. We're talking about the books that are most exciting to us as far as what coming out this week, the brand new books. Obviously, people get their books on Tuesday sometimes, even though technically you're not supposed to get your books for Marvel and everything else until Wednesday.
Yeah,
That's why we go on Wednesdays.
DC's gotta be first.
Yeah. Well, no, it's because they're not because it's not because DC has to be first. It's because the fact they know the whole shipping thing.
Oh yeah,
They have different publishers now. They have
I
different
was
uh
I was just being
yeah.
funny, or I was trying to be funny, I should say.
But that's one of the most annoying things about 2020 is when Diamond lost, the shipping rights and all that stuff to basically both companies.
hmm
And now it's a mess. You know, you think they'd at least ship the books, on the same day, or be able to sell them on. If you imagine going from Wednesdays to Tuesdays, like instead everybody has to wait the Wednesday. But I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm getting my DC books like the week ahead, I should be able to sell them, right? Well, no,
Unless you're getting like review copies.
no, they get their books like a week ahead or DC books.
Oh.
They only get the Marvel and everything else. Like Lunar and all this stuff. And Penguin House. Which basically ships everything. They get it on Wednesday. They get it the Tuesday, the night before. And what they do is they put the books up on Wednesday morning. Or late Tuesday night. Get ready.
My LCS, I know sometimes I'll go in there like middle of the day on Wednesday, and because they'll have just gotten their Marvel or their indie books in, so they won't
That's
even
what
have them on the shelves yet.
that's the other problem now is because now if you're shipping across the states, say you the FedEx because this happened was it last year I think it was we had a huge snowstorm going across the upper East Coast.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna start calling you Homelander.
Homelander. No, it's not that.
Get the little bottle.
It's not that. It's
it's,
it's a protein shake. It's nothing else. It's a protein shake, MK.
yeah. Shout out to Elizabeth Shue. Awesome in that show.
I'm gonna get a straw from now on.
You're fine before. If you just shave on this part here, it's fine.
No.
Worry about
Actually,
that.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. I was toying around with the idea. I might be going back to the 5 o'clock shadow look and not have this grown out scruff. I don't know. Might
Do what
show
you
up
want to
one
do.
day
We
this
need to
week
do.
and
But
not have it.
what's
Hey,
up,
Caleb.
MK man? What's going on, man?
Undead Quinn's here.
I'm having issues with my thing. It's not. There it goes. I had to click on. StreamYard wasn't showing all the comments, so I had to click on a different thing and then go back to the
Weird.
comments. Yeah, for me, it could be the internet speed. I was looking at my phone. I'm like, why do I have comments here and not comments on the right side of my screen?
That's something like when I move in a few weeks. That I'm shopping around to see who has like if there's a better internet provider than who I currently have. Because
I have AT&T. Like I said, it might be my computer. Like my computer's been kind of wonky since the power shut off last Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So my computer was shut off too at the same time, and that's never good for a computer.
Have you turned it off and turned it on again?
Anyway,
I legitimately thought you were frozen for a second.
Serves you right because you're always frozen too. What's going on, guys? Yeah, cooking a bagel and having cream cheese. Oh. Yes, and Zach is drinking something thick and white and creamy. Yes, that's what he's having. He claims it's a milkshake, but no, it's something else.
That's
You know.
disgusting.
That's you and Pixel have a thing for eggnog shakes. I don't know.
Oh man, why'd you say? Man, well, I shouldn't have one anyway. I just got back from the
Yeah.
gym. I don't need a eggnog.
So anyway, so yeah, so if you're just tuning in now, this is your first time being here. Awesome, seeing you here. These are the books we're talking about coming out this week that we're most excited to basically read. We take 5 books from our pull lists, so basically you're getting a 10, the top 10 here pretty much tonight. All right, so I'm gonna share my.
Well, maybe less because I think we might have at least 1 or 2 crossovers.
Well, yeah, it's when it's a slow week because that's
Yeah,
the other thing.
kind of
That's
a
the
light
other
week.
problem with having books that are basically being shipped by 2 different companies.
Yeah.
And 2 different days. So sometimes
Mhm.
books get delayed and pushed back to the end of the month.
Yep.
So
It's like the first 3 weeks of the month, I have like 5 or 6 books, and then that last week hits, and it's like, hey, here are 20 titles. So for that reason, I'm also working on trimming off my my pull list. So I
yeah.
don't require too many.
MK, to answer your question, Pixel is old enough to drink.
Yes, he is supposedly.
As long as he's tall enough to reach it on the counter, he can drink.
It's not so much an age thing; it's more like the restrictions they have at an amusement park.
Exactly. That's how we raise our kids. If you're tall enough to write this, you're tall enough to do this. Yeah. But
Undead Quinn says he has 4 issues. What a miracle! No, a miracle is when Ash has 4 issues.
it'd be a miracle if they're Marvel or DC and not just all independents. All right, so I think did I go first last week?
I've got a healthy mix of all 3 actually.
So do you want to go with your number 5? I think
sure.
I think I went last week.
First. I've got a number 5 that I bet you don't have.
Ooh, I bet you I don't.
Alrighty. My number 5, we're going to go over to Image Comics. Zach's going to do his infamous number 5 spot gamble this week. From Image Comics, we are looking at The Forged number 1. And it may be a ways down. I haven't seen it advertised a whole lot. But it is from Greg Rucka and Eric Trotman and Mike Henderson doing the art. So yeah, this is, I don't know a whole lot about it. It's a 64 issue book, so it's pretty thick. It says, in the 11th millennium of the rule of the Eternal Empress, a squad of planet-smashing super soldiers find their routine mission to be anything but. These are the Forged, and they take no prisoners. Written by, like I said, Greg Rucka and Eric Troutman, and brought to the page by Mike Henderson, embark on an over-the-top pulp adventure of sex, violence, and sci-fi, inspired by Conan, Heavy Metal, and other comics you tried to hide from your parents. Yeah, I mean, it had me at the Conan and sci-fi aspect of it. Also, I get kind of a Gears of War vibe, just like, what is it, Warhammer 2K or 4K?
Yeah, going against these like alien
Space
monsters.
Marines. Yeah. And even it says on the cover, it's got space witches, bug stomping on a hell world, team of ultra lethal Imperial vixens.
So we all know why you're getting this book, because it has embarked in an over the top pulp adventure of sex. So Greg Rucka, sex getting lesbians and monsters and robots.
Well, I see 2 of the 3 ingredients that are necessary for a
Don't worry,
combo.
it's gonna be real that she's a Nazi, a space Nazi.
Probably. Well, then that just leaves out the dinosaur bit. But you still have giant robot suits. You have hot cheesecake, and then space Nazis maybe. Who knows? So 60, and it's also a 64-page book. It's a pretty thick book. I mean, it's $6, but you are getting more pages for that too. So.
Well, I'm sorry. I assumed the gender on that cover because I don't know if that's a guy or a girl.
It might be a girl. Who knows?
It's hard to tell.
And
eyes are thick. It looks like a little moob going on here, but I can't tell.
Moob. I tried looking up some Mike Henderson to see what his credits are. He did do an issue of Dark Ride for Skybound. So if you read Joshua Williamson's Skybound book, that's about like
all right. Now I'm even more confused. I didn't read this part. Imperial vixens and sensuous space witches. So space lesbians.
Mm-hmm. That
or,
we know of,
or
that we're
lesbian.
guessing.
For those who don't speak English, lesbianos.
Is that actually the Spanish translation?
I don't know.
But yeah, no, I mean, Greg Rucka, when he wants to, he can write some decent
Sure.
stuff.
And I gotta speak to that, as well as Lazarus has been one of his best books. That it's like old school Rucka before his obsession with basically girl on girl action.
Right. And like someone said, and I might have been you. I don't know if I'm remembering this right or not. Apparently, his Wonder Woman was supposedly decent, like not John Byrne level, but I heard it was decent.
That was Mr. Miata motherfucker down there.
Evil Black Cat. It was that guy.
Yes. After George Perez, Greg Rucka had one apparently,
okay.
And he said that was actually really decent.
Okay.
No, he's correcting us.
Hell, lesbianistas. Wow, that's a word.
Run for your life, you like cat, because they eat cats.
Of course, Greg Rucka, he also wrote Gotham Central. He wrote a lot for DC Comics. Probably a good bit for Marvel too. I'm not super familiar with his Marvel work, but yeah, no. I saw his name on it, and it's an Image book, and I am starting to get more into the Image indie books, and so this one had a sci-fi look.
It is crazy right now. The Image putting out some really good books. They have The Last Barbarians issue 2's out this week. Check that series out. It is interesting to see more books from Image that I'm actually interested in coming out for versus the past couple of years.
Right.
I mean, once you stop looking at Marvel and DC for your source of entertainment, you start looking outwards, and Image has always been one of those rebels. They were the first comic book company to, I guess, before Dark Horse and stuff.
Yeah.
To come out and try to compete with Marvel and DC. And
well, it's always like a surprise. It's like a mystery box with them too. Like you don't know what you're going to get.
Right.
So I've tried several issues, several different titles from Image.
Are you trying to say that it's like a box of chocolates?
Oh yeah, box of chocolate. Yeah, sure, we can say that. But yeah, sometimes I'll pick up a book from Image and it'll be great, and I'll fall in love with it. And other times, it's not my cup of tea. But Jay says that Rucka's first Wonder Woman was excellent. His Rebirth one was okay, or dare I say, mid.
Mid, you say? Oh.
He said, not me. I didn't say. So anyway, this is my infamous. I'll take a gamble. This is my number 5 spot. Will it pay off? We'll find out Thursday. So. His Evil Black Cat says Rucka's original Wonder Woman from the 2000s is usually considered better than Byrne, and better than John Byrne, and one of the top 2 Wonder Woman runs alongside George Perez's run. Wow,
that's interesting. That's high praise, man.
Is that the one? Is that the one where he did where Adam Hughes did a bunch of covers?
I think so.
Was that the Rucka run? Because the covers are lit.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
Okay. So. All right, my number 5 is it's a returning series that's been going on since the 90s, but instead of being the animated adventures, like it was with Kelly Puckett, they basically decided to Paul Dini continued it well into the 2000s, and came back was it like 2 years ago, I think it was, and it is basically I'm trying to find it right now. Did I pass it already? Maybe
is it Batman?
Maybe
you passed it. If it's Batman, you passed it again. Scroll down. It's going to be all the way on the left. Go 1 or 2 more rows.
There it is, yeah, and it's just been fun. This is a jumping on point for because we always talk about like books, like sometimes they have stories and then they have then it's self-contained. This is part 1 of a new arc, in this, and this is the Joker story. Now this is the DC animated universe Joker, not the Tyson, D'Artagnan's Joker. And Amanda Waller and Task Force Ask are now.
I'm sorry, who?
Amanda Waller
There. Okay, I didn't recognize the name there.
Yes,
You sound
Amanda
like
Wawa.
you were mumbling.
Task
Yeah.
Force X. Yeah. As far as I know, this is the first appearance of Amanda Waller and Task Force X in the animated universe.
No. 'cause
Well,
they
at
were
least there's Task Force X. Now, this you're talking about Justice League.
Yeah, well, Justice
Amanda
League and
Waller,
Batman.
yes.
I mean,
But
they're in
Task
the
Force
same
X
universe.
Task Force X wasn't in there.
They did. They did. I got you. They did
Are you
have
sure?
one. They had one episode where Plastique was a member of Task Force X, and Waller sent. It was only two of them, so it wasn't like the Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
But he sent Plastique and somebody else. It might have been Boomerang. I don't
there
remember.
was the
But they went into
Justice
the
League, but yeah, that's about it.
no. They went into the Watchtower, and Plastique like blew something up. I'm gonna have to find it. But that was a Justice League episode.
It wasn't Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Boomerang, and all them teaming
No,
up. Rick Flag, any of that stuff.
No. It wasn't like that at all. Like I said, Plastique is the only one that I remember.
There was one in Jay Lee, the biggest one that fought against Justice League in the Justice League, and I think it was Unlimited actually, or even before it was. So you had Shade, you had what's her name, Carol Ferris's character.
Sapphire.
Yeah, Sapphire was one of the villains.
Yeah.
You had the Snake guy, Cobra, Copperhead. Yeah, like you said,
Yep. Actually, I just bought. They had all 4 seasons
of
Justice League on sale at Walmart. I picked it. It was like $25 for all 4 seasons, physical.
But like I said, I've been enjoying this series. Paul Dini is awesome writer. He is art. Do you see who's back on here? Ty Templeton's back working out.
Hey, good.
Probably healed up from having his cancer. He went through remission, and he's basically feeling healthy enough to start drawing again.
That's awesome. Good
Monica Cubina is been ongoing colorist. She's been working for DC. I think she's been working Puckett on some of the books. Basically awesome people, man. Now this is the animated series incentive.
The title card, yeah.
Title card. Look at that.
I like these. These are cool. I wish Justice League had those title cards. They didn't have them on their episodes.
So if you remember the Joker's right hand called the Straight Man from the animated series, this is about him. He's not feeling it all. He says he's not quite feeling himself lately. He experienced moments, flashbacks of a life he doesn't remember. After reasoning with the clown of Prince and his stoic enforcer Batman starts to unravel the man's past, but lands him smack dab in the crosshairs of Amanda Waller and Task Force X. Like I said, I've just been loving this. Here is the stock card variant with Catwoman and Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn, Sirens. And notice they're criminals. They're not, which would be anti-villains or anti-heroes. Anti-villains.
An anti-villain is what the Justice League is.
Pretty much. Right. And here's the other cover too that's coming up.
Mark McGrath and Jay Lucien have both proven me right. There is an episode titled Task Force X. Mark says it's season 2 of Justice League Unlimited. Jay says it's season 1, but it is titled Task Force X.
But who's actually in the cast? Is it just like Task Force X and that's it? But it doesn't say like. Do they actually have the characters lined up, the list, or is it just Amanda Waller?
I'm gonna look it up for you right now. But I think it is season 1 of Justice League Unlimited because that tied into the whole Amanda Waller conspiracy against the Justice League and they take over the Watchtower. I think it feeds into that. Yes. Although actually, DC Fandom says it's the 2nd season of Justice League Unlimited. So maybe
I think it is the 2nd season.
Yeah. Okay. I take it back then. I take it all back.
But we also have Hugo Strange in here, Deadshot. Captain Boomerang's in this. Barbara Gordon and Amanda Waller. And then cameos by Wonder Woman and Superman. So I get the Trinity in this. Like I said, I'm more down for like animated stuff. This is closer you're going to get to Justice League Unlimited or anything like that. I recommend it.
Okay. Go ahead. No,
I was just going to say, if you like the Justice League or cartoons or even the animated series, you need to pick this up. And this will still be ongoing, be better than anything that Zdarsky or Rampy puts out. Sorry.
False news, sir.
No, I'm sorry. I like the cartoon series better than I like the series.
Listen, I like the cartoons. I love the DC animated universe up until a certain point. but Ram V is pretty fire. By the way, Mark McGrath has proven me wrong. It wasn't just 2 or 3. You actually did have a somewhat recognizable Suicide Squad. You had
Really?
Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, Plastique, and then here's the one. Here's Clock King. I don't remember Clock King, but he was also part of the team. So you did have more than a handful of people. So
false news, fake news, yellow journalism.
Yellow journalism.
I don't understand. We don't have fake news here. We just have news.
We just have comics.
Yeah.
We don't even have news.
Yes, we're a PG channel. We don't have news here.
PG. As we talk about Zach's space lesbian book for his number 5 spot. Totally PG.
Yeah, pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's my number 5. We spent too much on this, and on you got 14 people watching. This is kind of cool. I've seen more people show up, man. It's awesome. Thank you guys for all showing up, man. Mark McGrath, Undead Quinn, Jade, and MK, Austin. I think Marnie was here too.
Now you said hi, and they're all gonna leave.
Actually, is Marnie still here? She's kind of quiet.
She might be. I pulled up her name by accident when I was typing in Mark's name.
Tehillium is here too.
Yeah, Eric's here. So
Eric's here, Mr. Breen. Oh wow,
he was. He said "Hola chicas" up at the top. So
he must have been talking about your Greg Rucka book.
Oh, maybe he was talking about it. Maybe.
All right, so okay. Let's go back to your number 4 then.
My number 4, we're going to head to Marvel Comics. Your cursor is right on it there, sir. Hulk number 13. That's right.
I was scared because I thought it was on 31, Wolverine.
Oh, God, no, I'm sorry. What they did to my boy. No. We are on Hulk number 13. This is the second to last issue of Ryan Ottley's arc. It's really Donny Cates, but Ryan Ottley kind of finessed it.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been liking this style, that Ryan Ottley has brought his art style. The whole Hulk has a planet that worships him. Kind of saw that before with Planet Hulk, but this one's a little bit. It's a little more interesting. There's some different spots to it, but it looks like a lot of it's going to be taking place actually inside his mind. So it might be like an Inception type story, which could be cool if it's done right. Like I said, Ryan Ottley's art has been outstanding with the Hulk. I would like to see him take on maybe some other Marvel characters. Like if they didn't do the new Warriors, but they actually brought back the original New Warriors, I'd like to see Ryan Ottley draw them. But yeah, this is the second to last issue of Ryan Ottley's run. Then I think there's an annual, and then Philip Kennedy Johnson takes over. And they, of course, in Marvel fashion, are going to reboot it with a new number 1. But yeah, I'm liking this so far. The last couple of issues, I liked them, but they weren't quite as good as the Hulk versus Thor story, in my opinion. But
yes, you had an actual good Tony Stark mixed up in this being written. Tony Stark, always outside of his comic book, being written great. Inside his comic book, not written.
I mean, I didn't buy Thor versus Hulk for
Iron
Man. I bought it for Thor versus Hulk.
I bought it because I liked the characters, but it was a special bonus getting Iron Man and Celestial armor.
I hear you.
Celestial freaking armor, dude. That was awesome.
I remember.
I thought Gundams were great. Armor. Getting a Celestial is like a step up from a Gundam.
Do you remember when Tony Stark had Phoenix Force armor? I do.
Do you remember when Tony Stark became a god? Thank you, Cantwell. He fought against Korvac, and they battled. They battled planets each other. It's just so great. Yeah. Campbell sucks.
Yeah, a little bit. Hey, he's got Hellcat number 1 coming out this week. That's not on my top 5 list, guys.
It's at his number 6.
God, no, not even no. That's an avoid at all costs.
Yeah. Speaking of it, real quickly, as Damian Hellstrom is in there. And I'm so pissed off because I like that character. But here he is in a shitty book with a shitty writer. And I liked it better when those two were actually dating. Now he's just the creepy old ex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone can tell me about it sometime. I do remember when Hulk was good. Yeah, it's the other book called Joe Fix It, which comes out this week at 2 Warehouse, I believe.
Anyway,
I think it's this week, is it?
Joe Fix It. I don't know. It's not.
Or is it next week?
Might be
Please
next
week.
Before we move on to your number 4, I do want to point out Undead Quinn says his number 4 is Berserker number 12, which is also Tehillim's number 5. So a lot of guys getting Berserker this week.
And I just want to say this has been pretty much the Invincible Hulk when Ryan Ottley took over, which I do like. I wish we could get this as a side story, something else going on, continuing, because I do like Ryan Ottley. I love his arts.
Mhm.
I just really miss the book Invincible. It is an awesome universe that Kirkman created with Ryan Ottley, and I just need more of it. So when I see him draw
more, there's like books that are bigger than your face about it.
I've already read them.
Well,
I want more into obviously they can't really unless they do a spinoff book somehow.
That's true.
But I love
they've got the Battle Beast.
But Hulk is pretty much. I love the Savage Hulk where he just destroys stuff and gets in the fights. I love that. And so and Ryan Ottley is great at that. He did Invincible. I love that kind of storytelling.
Well, they've got the Battle Beast spinoff that they did, that they started.
Yeah, but I want Battle Beast versus Hulk. Wouldn't that be great?
That would actually be really cool.
All right, yeah.
That would actually, I would pay for that. Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I liked World War Hulk, and then especially
World War Hulk was the last time I think I really loved.
Yeah.
Hulk as a character. Like, I like him. I don't know. This is World War Hulk. Hulk was kind of like, he was a villain, but he was like a justified villain. But I almost like him more in that role than as like a hero. I don't know.
Especially, yeah. And he comes back to Earth and how just beats the shit out of everyone.
Pretty much.
And they're like, Hulk, you're the villain. Stop. He's like, you're the one that launched me into space, jackass.
Yeah. So that's what I say. It's like he's a bad guy, but he's kind of justified in his actions.
Like I'm kind of like that's the one thing I don't like about current writers. Like continue the Hulk. I'm just tired of Banner being like, oh, I'm a monster, blah blah blah. No, I'm sick of that. We've had too much of him just being like, I don't want the David Banner, kind of like play the sad theme and he has to leave, So yeah. I'm tired of that.
Yeah, I hear you.
Boyd Crowder. What? What?
Who's Boyd Crowder?
Wow, you lost your man card now. You don't know who Boyd Crowder is.
I'm sorry, is that a Bosch reference? I'm sorry.
No, it's actually it is a better show. Well, not a better show. In its own certain way, it's great. Just like The Wire's great too. The show I'm referencing is called Justified. Too Many Elephants.
Oh.
And Walter Higgins plays Boyd Crowder. It's kind of like the Clark Kent, Lex Luthor, and Smallville. Two friends growing up to be enemies. Yeah. And now Zach's quiet. We achieved it, guys. Great job.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Oh, he's back. Oh, we lost it. We had him for a second.
You could have gone on. I was listening the whole time.
Yeah. All right. So that was
justified villain. Oh.
Yes, exactly what I just said. And then you can.
I know. But Breen said it better.
Are you in an 8-minute delay?
Yes, I am filling the Venkman spot this evening. I'm on the delay, repeating stuff. Yes.
I'm filling the Pixel spot this evening. Although I just can't get the same hands as he does.
Thank God. No two people need that.
I've got whenever I look at my hands, I got the thing hands.
They're rocky.
Well, no. I'm just saying there's kind of I don't have the long fingers like he does.
Yeah.
So I have more like the short fingers and the wider hand.
I gotcha.
All right. So we did. That
was my number 4.
Yeah, let's go on my number 4. It's right here. Boom. Noctera.
Hey.
It is Scott Snyder, our friend Skipitosh's favorite writer. 20th Stanley doing the art on this. I checked the last time this came out was like October, I think.
It's been a minute.
October or September. Yeah.
Wasn't there like a special or an annual? I feel like there was something that came out.
There was an annual in between this, yes.
Yeah.
or something like that, and explain because the last time we checked, we figured out what happened to the main character in here, and yeah, Emery Riggs, in here is she is pretty much changed now, and she's basically been remade, and this is a big thing. If you haven't read this book, this is kind of a huge spoiler, so I'm just letting you know. She is pretty much like Blacktop Bill now. Her skin and stuff, so she's become like a nightshade almost kind of sense. Allows her to move in the dark without being attacked by the monsters. And yeah, we're getting close to the end of this book. Now, this is always the crunch time, and like always like the or not crunch time, but more like the I'm trying to describe what I'm thinking. Like it's
wait, the book
do
is
or die.
End?
It's just more like the do or die situation when it comes to like Scott Snyder books, because remember, like they're getting closer to like curing the world. Like they have you've been reading this, Zach. Are you ready?
I have been reading it. I just don't think. I don't think it's gonna end at 15 issues.
They basically eat it and all this stuff, and it's probably gonna end by issue 20. I imagine. I'd guess that 2027. But as we're getting closer and closer to we've come so far from this book since it first started storytelling.
Yeah.
So, and I said, this is where it becomes is like do or die for Scott Snyder. Are you gonna do the normal thing where you're just gonna kind of cop out and this you've wrote so many issues, and which was only like a 4-issue thing. Now it's like you stretched it out more and more, like you don't know how to end it. Or is he gonna be like American Vampire and end it on a nice note?
I don't know. I feel like Scott Snyder's had a goal in mind ever since he started it. I don't think he stretched it out to get more issues or anything. Could be wrong, but that doesn't feel like to me. It doesn't feel like his style.
Yeah. Here's some of the other covers.
Jay Lee.
Yep, the Jay Lee cover.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, this has been, like I said, kind of crazy. The whole premise of this, is that or premise, what do you want to call it? Oh crap, HR's here. We gotta be on our best behavior. We want to get written up. So basically, yeah, it's like how to describe this without giving away the spoilers. Non-spoiler would say if the Earth has been plunged into darkness. These creatures basically, if you go into the dark, they will infect you and turn you into what do they call the what are they called? The
shades.
Are they called the shade?
I think they're shades, plural.
Shades, yeah. And they're what used to be people are now been transformed into looking like creatures that hide in the dark, and they have teeth and stuff, and they're just kind of creepy, kind of like those ghost stories you hear about, like the shadow people. Yeah, it's pretty freaky. And then of course because the animals have all been mutated too, so it's like you see it they're like, is that a hawk or a duck or a turkey? What is that? Or a cat? So there's some humor in this because so basically people are holding out in towns, basically have Christmas lights everywhere and just playing movie screen stuff, anything to keep the light on, and it repels these creatures. So there's so it's basically very apocalyptic, but there's comedy, action, suspense. Blacktop Bill is just a fun character in here, and I hope we get to see more of him in here too. And she's just basically an older sister trying to protect her brother, ever since they're little, because their parents were attacked, became infected and stuff. So they've been on their own, and she's doing whatever she can to basically protect them. It's a fun series. If you haven't checked it out, check out Noctera. I'm pretty sure you could probably find some back issues somewhere.
I think they might even have a trade or two of it.
I think there might be a Volume 1 and Volume 2's out.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. But at least Volume 1. So, but overall, fun story. I hope this gets a hardcover deluxe, oversized thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That'd be cool.
And so we always talk about, especially Breen, we talk to him, we talk about it's $3.99 and better have good art in the interior if you want me to read this book, And this is one of those books that has a good writer. It also has Tony Estaniu, who is a great artist. The art's good in here too, the storytelling. Obviously there's some excuses for some of the books that have horrible art, and where the story is just so good, and you kind of don't even notice anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect example would be Bloodstream, which also comes out this week. That is just a great storytelling. Art is kind of subpar for a $4 book, but you get used to it. I did quickly. I was super shocked because I'm usually like, whoa, what the hell's going on? I can at least tell what's going on in the art enough to tell who is. It's not like this guy looks exactly like the girl over here. Is that a girl or is that a guy? No, it's been fun. So check this book out, Noctera. I mean, obviously, I think it's been optioned too for a TV series, but who knows? Everything is optioned. Criminal's been optioned. Cherry was optioned. It's been years since I've ever heard anything about this. All these shows getting optioned, unless it's greenlit for they actually start filming it. That's when I actually start caring about it being a show. All right, guys. That was my number 4. Let's go to your number 3, man. See what you got going on.
My number 3. It's the same book you just had on the screen. It's Noctera number 12. That's okay. While we're pulling that up, though, Tehillim says his number 4 book this week is Ancient Enemies. I'm gonna hold off on rating your 3 and 2, Tehillim. We kind of go 4, 5. We go one by one. HR popped in with his whole list. He says his number 5 book is No One, number 1. I know that's a new series that's starting this week. And then his number 4 is Avengers War Across Time, which I think is on its 3rd issue. But yeah, getting back to this though, Noctera, it has been, I looked it up. Issue number 11 came out last June. Like since then, they've had like some specials, like a Blacktop Bill special. They had like 1 or 2 other ones, but like there hasn't been like a regular numbered issue in almost a year. So I'm excited to get back into this. I like the world that Scott Snyder has created, like this world of like night and what it turns these creatures into, and these different settings and towns that have like Christmas lights, like you said, or neon, and it's just really cool to see. And the evolution of this one character has been just really fun to see. And I'm excited to see. I hope the series isn't coming to an end soon. I think it would make sense if it did, just because I know a lot of the time it's better to have a set goal, and once you hit it, you end there. You don't drag it out. But I will be sad when that happens, because this is a really, really cool series, and I do like it a lot. Blacktop Bill is probably one of my favorite villains just in comics. He's just a sadistic, evil, disgusting person that you love to hate, kind of like Negan but on steroids.
So it's funny you bring up Negan, because The Walking Dead just ended over on EMC. That show, they have some mini series going on, but I would love them to pick up this as their new series.
That would be cool,
because you can create new characters in here if you want to, and you can go for it. They said there's a whole bunch of survivors. You can start. You can start with Walking Dead from the very good day 1. And you work your way up, or you can start in the middle, if you want to.
Yeah.
It's another show they can milk out. They were like, whoa, we don't want that. Look how they ruined The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead had its weak moments. For pretty much, it was pretty much close to the book. Now, and this is another one of those creepy shows you could do. I know they did a vampire show, or at least we're doing one on EMC. I'm not sure if they still are.
I know they did the Kung Fu show. They were doing Into the Badlands. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, but there was another one, like a Nosferatu, kind of like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I'd love to see this as a TV series. It would be kind of cool. But
yeah,
I would trust AMC the most. But if you really want to put it somewhere else, HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think the HBO Max is doing it. Is HBO Max the one that's doing? They're the one that's doing The Last of Us, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think they just had the season finale, I think.
Yeah, which I still haven't get a chance to watch, so no spoilers for that.
I haven't seen any of it.
There's no spoilers for anybody, because a lot of people probably haven't jumped in the show because they're like, kind of leery about it.
Yeah.
I watched one episode, and that was like I think it was episode 3 or 4, which basically was had nothing to do with the game. It was just they took a character and just added on to it for 45 minutes, which was my opinion, dumb. But overall, Last of Us all the way through was fun.
Undead Quinn snuck in there with his number 3. He said his number 3 this week is Little Monsters number 11. So,
You
which
guys are jumping the gun, man.
well, no, this is my number 3, so he's getting in there with his number 3.
I know I didn't get my number 3 yet, though.
And then number 3 is also HR's number 3 as well. And then Tehillim's number 3 is Nemesis Reloaded.
What's
and
up?
my twin is here.
Man?
My twin. How's it going, man?
Dan, hello to anybody else who's just joining us now. We're up to 17 people. I don't think I've seen this many people on here for a top 5. This is kind of crazy. We welcome everybody to basically participate and tell us what 5 books are you looking forward to that are coming out this week. The site we're on right now is called League of Comic Geeks. It's free to use. You can create a free account. You can keep track of your books by creating yourself a pull list. And you're like, for those who are like, what's a pull list? It's basically the books that you're looking forward to picking up this week, and it basically, lets you know. You can send an email, or you can disable the email and just look at on your mobile app, because it's available for Android and iPhone. But for the most part, I use the website on the PC because the app is for some reason it's always so glitchy. But it's a cool thing to keep track of what you own. You can even create a wish list for books that are also coming out. They maybe if come out or already have come out and you want to keep track of. So that's what I do. It's an online catalog for me. And no, I don't get paid by them. I wish I get paid by League.
Yeah. We do not get paid anything.
Just like Eric Breen, who joins us for the readings, wish he just get paid by Coke Zero. He's always cracking a few open. All right. 18 now. Crazy. Let's go to my number 3, man. This is the book that I'm surprised it hasn't been on your list. Maybe it's a little higher up on your list. Maybe it's closer to your 2 or 1. But this book I'm looking is it is been a fun book, and it's right here, just Society America number 3. Been liking this. I like the fact we got Helena Wayne back. Helena Wayne, last time I saw her, I think was New 52. She had her own World's Finest book with actually Power Girl, Kara, or I guess we call Karen because she's Earth too. This has been fun, and if you watch Stargirl, we have some of the characters from the Stargirl CW show in here.
Mm-hmm.
Especially we got the new Dr. Midnight, we got Beth, and then we got Wildcat over here, and then we also see Jay Garrick's here too, which is kind of cool. And I'm not sure who this character is over here.
That's Jakeem.
Oh, it is Jakeem. Oh, that's right. You are. Yeah, and that's Scott. So, of course, we got Courtney right here. Like I said, I'm looking more forward to anything I get from Jerry Ordway doing art on this. Jerry Ordway is just one of my top artists. I like them on Post-Crisis Superman. Zach,
I'm all out of drink.
You're out of drink.
Try again next time.
You should have one as prep. This series is just fun. Jeff Johns is the guy doesn't have to write if he doesn't want to. I'm sure the guy's set. He has his own TV show production company. I honestly think Jeff Johns is probably one of the best writers currently in DC. He's proven so since he took over, started doing some DC stuff back in the early 2000s with his JSA. He's over from Goyer. And he's just built himself like a huge, chunk, or I guess his little world inside the DC universe that no one else can basically replicate if they really want to. Although Sean Gordon Murphy is doing his own little world, and that's been really fun. But like I said, I'm slowly going through JSA as it is. JSA, there's a trade coming out this week. It's volume number 5. Check that out. $20-$40, or if you already have it, then cool, you already have it. But anyway, so having Jory Ordway, an awesome artist coming back and drawing stuff on here, and then you also got Michaela Janin doing the cover, and he's also doing some art into as well. I think. Yeah.
They've had some parts where the artist will change. I think it depends on the time period, because it is kind of a time travel story.
Yeah, it is. And speaking of which this is connected to, for those who are not reading Stargirl currently, the Stargirl and the Lost Children, I think it's called.
Yeah,
It's very connected to this. We're kind of like, dude, we're talking about this. Some of the villain that's in this, like, and I forgot as D
per Degaton.
Degaton might be connected to Corky Baxter, like a future version of him that's gone rogue. It's evil, you know, for whatever reason. They're both mischievous. They both know about time travel. They don't, so it's like I wouldn't be surprised if they're connected. But that's like I said. I said Jeff Johns, his world building, the way he connects stuff. We've talked about how Donny Cates will connect things. He builds world building inside, Marvel with certain things. So, Silver Surfer Black, Thor, and then he was working on Venom. It was all connected. It was kind of cool to see stuff, even with his Thanos stuff.
Yeah,
but yeah. Evil Black Cat, I will not give you that meme just for that.
He's kind of right. He's kind of right, though. He's a little right. Because she did come in between Dr. Charles McNider and then Peter Cross. So, Tomcat needs to stay on the shelf, Mark McGrath. We don't need Tomcat again.
Who wants Tomcat? No.
Nobody. I don't know anybody that's clamoring for the comeback of Tomcat.
Oh,
Wildcat's furry son. Nobody wants that.
So here's the other cool thing about this is that everybody knows about Tom King as a fetish for Catwoman and Batman, be together. In this, we got a better, older Catwoman that we did in the Bat and Cat series by Tom King. And it's, of course, because Jeff Johns actually knows it, right? Tom King just copies other people's work. See, True Grit, Superwoman tomorrow. It is, yeah. So it is. Some of the other covers in here, we got, this is kind of cool, incentive for 125. Steven Sadowski.
I love the 125. That is the one I'm hoping to find. I love that one.
Old school costume for Black Canary down here.
It is, yeah. This one was at the start of the Goyer run. That's pretty much the lineup.
Yes.
When Goyer started writing it, because you can see that's Sans outfit and
yeah.
Black
Holy
Canary.
Crap! You remember when people actually had chest hair? Shout out to
Hawkman's always had chest hair.
No, but I mean, Wildcat had chest hair too. Nowadays, you don't see many comic book characters drawn with chest hair because it's toxic.
Toxic.
Yes. Like I said, I liking this, and then here's the Women's International Women's Day. Now,
I actually like this cover. Call me a simp if you want, but
I know, right? It's just quick, and it has Jade on here too. And who's this? Yep. Velocity, right? We're like, wait, that's not Velocity. Yes, they race swapped her for the movie. I don't know why, but
Cyclone.
Oh, sorry.
Who's Velocity?
Sorry. There was one. There was one.
I'm pretty tornadoes.
I'm pretty sure there was one called. Wasn't there one called Velocity?
There's no JSA member called Velocity.
What am I thinking? Am I thinking Marvel?
I have no idea who you're thinking.
My bad. I don't know. I'm drunk. I'm drunk right now, so leave me alone.
Oh, that cracked me up. I was like, who are you talking about?
It's Eric Breen. Lots of characters have chest hair. Some of them are even men. Like I said. So that's my number 3. Am I staying on this for you?
No.
All right.
I already did my number 3. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get to your number 2 then.
Alrighty, my number 2, Eric Breen. I hope you're here. Oh wait, Mark McGrath and Evil Black Cat are saying there is Velocity in Cyberforce.
See, I knew there was one, another speedster. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so I was confused. And then she's also redhead too, I believe.
Probably, which means that if you see her in a movie, she
Cyberforce, wasn't that Wildstorm that got pulled into DC?
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Or was that only Image? I don't know. Image Comics, okay. Yeah, okay, sorry, right. All right.
I'm so confused.
It's usually the case.
No, Vinkman's favorite character is the Velocity Raptor, Maranya, not me.
Velocity Raptor?
Velocity Raptor.
I don't like raptors. I shoot raptors, man.
All right.
Raptors are horrible creatures, man. They should not be allowed to exist ever again. They can open up freaking doors.
Oh, Mark says Cyberforce is Mark Silvestri.
Ah, okay.
Okay. No, my number 3, this is for Breen. Or my number 2, I should say. HR says his number 2 is JSA. But my number 2 is Breen's only Marvel book that he is reading. And
Why
you
is
know
it
what
your
it is.
number 2?
Why is it? You'll find out when I get to number 1. But my
Is it?
number 2 is Avengers War Across Time, issue
man.
number 3.
I bet you're gonna put like Christopher Reeve's Superman in front of his number 1.
Yeah, sure.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it's got to be. Oh, there it is. Yeah. All right. This has been a great book. If you are not reading this lovely throwback to the Golden or Silver Age Avengers, you are cheating yourself. Paul Levitt's doing the writing. I'll settle for almost. I'll take that. Alan Davis's art is fantastic. I love his art. Rochelle Rosenberg doing the coloring is incredible. I'm hoping that there's a little bit more action in this issue. Last issue was kind of slow on the action. Number 1 was a fantastic first issue. Number 2, it was all right. One might even say it was mid. But number 3,
keep that up. I'll have to kick you off the stream. The only person right here is mid is you, and this is your number 2, man. Your number 1 better be freaking awesome, man.
I actually like this cover right here. I may try to get this cover. I like that one a lot with Kang in the background. But yeah, it has been fantastic. Paul Levitz writes just like a Silver Age writer. The issues of Avengers that this supposedly takes place in between, he puts it in there seamlessly. There's almost like no speed bumps or no nothing jarring about sticking this in there. It fits in perfectly. So I highly recommend this. It's 28 pages, $4. It's well worth it. This is the best Avengers book out there on the shelves right now. Do yourself a favor and pick it up. Thank me later.
Yes. This should be on your pull list. If I know there's people out there who are like, I don't like current comic books right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is the exception to that rule.
Well, it's not current.
This is the only Marvel book that exists after 2012. According to
It does not take place in current Marvel canon. That's the thing. It takes place in the past.
Well, it's not current Marvel writers either. So it's actually done by actual good like writers and artists.
That's true too.
Yeah. So and it's not a modern version of an older classic. You're actually getting it's also like original writers writing would be like if it had been taking place at that time, the year when the issue 11 came out of Avengers, the way it's written and formatted, dear God, it is probably like one of the best Avenger books in the past 20-30 years.
That seems like a stretch.
What we had in the past? What we had? We've had Hickman and what was it? Jason Aaron?
No, you've had more than Aaron and Hickman.
And Bendis?
I think you've had more than Bendis. I think you might have even had Jeff Johns and Kurt Busiek's run in the last 30 years. His run
they're ill compared to this.
I don't think so. I think you're being really biased right there. I think
you just have bias.
You just have recency bias.
No. This is the guy who does. I've always thought a lot of the like after Stan Lee and stuff, after like the Avenger stuff, it gets started to get mid real fast.
So it's a different kind of bias. You have Golden Silver Age bias.
You mean when it was actually perfect? There's a reason why it's called Golden, because it was golden. It's great. Don't fix what's it doesn't mean fixing.
It's all right. But yeah, this is my number 2. Definitely. It's not a bad book. I'm not saying what I'm saying to say it's a bad book.
Apparently it is. It's at number 2. It's not your number 1. So it's like, I like it, but not enough to be number 1.
It doesn't mean it's bad. It's just beneath something else. That's all I'm going to say on that. Tehillim's number... Tehillim, I don't even know if we read your number 2 or your number 3. I'm trying to scroll up to find it.
Oh, we had Undead Quins. You read his. His number 2 was Batman, though. He said that.
Oh, the adventures continue.
Yep, and his he has 5 was Berserker, and then he goes.
Oh, Tehillim's number 3 was Nemesis Reloaded, and his number 2 was Batman. There it is.
4 was Ancient Enemies. Yep.
And then HR's number 2 is JSA.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go to my number 2, which has actually been a really fun book, and this is done by another guy, by Miller that I like, but it's pronounced Millar.
Oh wow,
Yes.
Berserker didn't make your. Oh wait, no, this is only number 2. Never mind. We still have one more to go.
Where are you at?
Maranya says Paul Levitz and Kurt Busiek's Avengers
That far-
runs are
Is it that far
comparable.
down? Oh, there it is. All right, Nemesis Reloaded, number 3, Secret Origin. We gotta reload this freaking again.
We had his origin in the last issue though, didn't we?
There you go. No, so this has been, it's that's the thing about Millar and Nemesis. Is it really his origin, or is it not his origin, or we just expected to believe that's an origin? No.
Yeah.
We don't really know this is. First, if you read the first story, this book really messes with your mind because you saw all the tropes that he did in the first book. And you're like, okay, is he gonna it's supposed to be reloaded? So is he gonna change things completely, or is he gonna leave some things in there? That's what I like about when a writer actually takes on a product, that he's written out before and actually tries to reboot it. So I'm always curious to see what he's going to change and what he's not going to change. And the big thing so far is that Nemesis is a sick freaking individual. And he's basically like I guess you could say he's the evil Batman. In the first series, he just wanted a challenge. But there's a little bit more than that too. Of course, again, I won't spoil it. Here he's going against which I guess is the former chief of police. He's now basically became against the mayor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he basically went, for whatever reason, he has his sights set on him, and now he's basically offered like $10,000 to each person to basically whoever kills a cop, you get $10,000. So people are going out just running the streets and just executing cops in broad daylight stuff, which is kind of like it's kind of taken off current, kind of affairs. People are just going and shooting cops. We saw that in 2020, 2021. But obviously this is more make believe because he's offering them incentive to do it. People were just doing it for the heck of it. So like I said, the art is is awesome here. You got Jorge Jimenez here doing the art in this one. I believe I'm trying to remember who did the original art in the original, but overall art's been phenomenal in this. Story is just nonstop action. I think you had a bottle of wine at first.
No, water.
Because I can see the handle. Those masonry jugs.
Trying to stay hydrated.
Yeah. I said now. Some of you are probably like, "Oh, I hate this. It's stupid. I don't want to see evil Batman." Blah blah blah. I look at this. It's not just evil Batman. There's actually more of a plot to this, and I don't want to say any more because I know what happened in the first story. There's more to this. In this one, I can't tell if he's doing the same story as the first one. I don't want to spoil for anybody who hasn't seen the first one. You haven't read the first 4 issues, but it's just nonstop. I'll just say it. Last issue, he drove a car into a helicopter to get a guy, and the car just out of nowhere. You're just for 1 minute, you're here. It's just crazy, insane. This stunts and stuff you see like in an action movie. Kind of like almost in a sense like Fast and Furious stunts. Because we've seen Dom in his car. He jumps off a cliff. With a car at a bridge, and then gets rescued by by Paul Walker and stuff. It's been a fun book. It's going to be only 4 issues. It's $4.99. It's by a guy who likes writing comics. And this is I think Ash was saying Ash and Comics. If you check them out, cool guy. He had said that Millar actually has his own studio. He sold Miller World, which he believed he sold to Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And Netflix brought him on to pay him to run it.
Yeah.
So the guy doesn't have to write the books.
Nice work if you can get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, this has just been a fun book. My only complaint with this is I would love to see someone who came actually gives this guy a challenge, because so far he's been on easy mode. No one's been able to thwart him. I want to see someone like be able to outsmart him, and because that's the one thing we don't want. We don't want a villain winning in the end. I mean, at least I don't. I want to be good versus evil. I don't just want evil just winning, because I'll just watch the news then. It seems pretty much, I'll be depressed that way. So I don't know. If you like Jorge Jimenez, who's worked on, I believe, on Superman, right? And also he's done some Batman work.
Millar's done a ton of stuff besides.
Well, no,
Superman.
also about Jorge Jimenez. Both of them actually.
Jimenez. Oh,
Yeah.
Jimenez. Yeah, he's done I thought Jorge did Batman.
He did Batman, but
maybe it was still Jimenez.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's worked on Superman in the past.
I know he's done.
Mark Millar has also done Superman. The animated adventures continue. Fun stories. Man, I Dead Quinn. I know you're kind of picky on Miller books. I'm picky on certain books too. I'll just say this: if you don't mind a villain basically being over the top and just playing in easy mode for the first couple of issues, you might like this. Or you might not like it. Like I said, there's people who just look at this book. Oh, it's anti-Batman. It's basically Batman evil, and there's no one. It's Batman versus James Gordon. Like, people get sick of that. You're like, okay, whatever, boring. Yeah. So if it's your cup of tea, pick it up. If it's not, I understand it. But it is my number 2. I've been enjoying this. I'm looking forward to see what is the plot twist. How is is it going to be different, or are they going to go with the same kind of twist at the end? Which I really hope it to be kind of boring if he did. But all right, I'm done rambling about this. Let's go on to your number 1. But let's I want you to give a quick recap so we know exactly what. For those who are just joining us, so we know what your books are, and then afterwards, count down mine. I'll give you my book, and then we'll jump into the trades and see what's coming out this week for trades.
All right. My number 5 book this week is The Forged, first issue number 1, coming from Greg Rucka at Image Comics. Number 4 is going to be Hulk number 13. Ryan Otley's got a few issues to go before he wraps up this series. My number 3 is Noctera, number 12, coming back with the ongoing issues instead of the specials. So I'm looking forward to that. Number 2 is Avengers War Across Time, number 3, with Paul Levitz and Alan Davis on the artwork. Check it out. We just said in the chat how this is actually Paul Levitz's first time doing any writing for Marvel. He's mainly been a DC guy. And my number 1 book, because of course it has to be, if you know me, you know it was going to be this. It's Justice Society of America number 3. How could you not know that would be my number 1? This is Jeff Johns, of course, doing the artwork. That's a large reason why it is my number 1. Also, Justice. Yeah.
Press 1 if you're disappointed in Zach. Press 2 if you agree with him. This should be number 1 over Avengers.
You just like Golden and Silver Age stuff more. I like modern stuff a little bit more.
This is got a Golden Age in here too. The 1940s.
Breen will say Jeff Johns does not do like the Silver Age stuff very well. Hey, Evil Black Cat actually agrees with me.
Evil Black Cat does the opposite of what I write too. He's just that kind of that way. He's evil. He'll never go to anybody except for Marania.
So while Venkman is conspiring to get the chat,
Marania, quit being a rebel.
We
already have Evil Black Cats.
Rebel. I'm gonna start a chat.
But if you're gonna name a number though, let me know what number 3 means. Because I'm just gonna assume that you're just saying that you're undecided. That you're,
All right. I'm going to continue to talk about my book because I let you rant. I let you go on and on about Nemesis, so now I'm going to go on and on about JSA. Yes, this is Jeff Johns returning to probably hit the title that he does his best work on. He's written about a half dozen other titles for DC. Justice Society is his best, so it's great having him back on the title. He did bring back Helena Wayne, which some people are really intrigued by and excited about. I'm still kind of in the wait and see camp on that one. Last issue was mainly the Helena Wayne show and less Justice Society show. So hopefully that changes up with this
No,
issue.
I don't think it's going to, because she's the main character.
She can be like the focal character. She can be the focal point of a story, but you could still have the rest of the team in a supporting role. They weren't even in a huge supporting role last issue. Like if you go read Jeff Johns runs, there'll be stories where Stargirl is the focal point, or
Sure, I mean,
Alan Scott is the focal point,
if it's
or
called Justice
Wildcat.
Society, you want everybody from the Justice Society in here.
Exactly.
Otherwise it's called Helena Wayne.
Exactly. But moving on, that was last issue. Probably some important setup and exposition going on there. This issue, we can see from the synopsis, Huntress is going to be in the 1940s in the JSA's early days at their birth point. And then it looks like she's going to figure out how to work with them, stopping Per Degaton, who is probably my favorite of the JSA villains. He's very much Doctor Who, but
Yeah,
a
he
Nazi.
is. He is one of those characters I just like. I've never heard of.
Okay.
Is he from Coolier's run in Jeff Johns?
Oh, he's from before that. You can go back to All Star Squadron. Like you can go way back when. He's an old character.
Sorry. All right, so he's not a made-up character. Okay.
Mm-mm. No, he's been around. He had several appearances he did in Jeff Johns' earlier run and in Goyer's run. Yeah, like I said, you can even go back to All Star Squadron, or even older probably. He might be around back there. But yeah, Jerry Ordway doing art is cool. Mikel Janin doing art also cool. Jordi Belair's coloring has been good. But mainly I'm here for the Jeff Johns writing. I'm a sucker for Jeff Johns. His writing is fantastic. It sucks that Stargirl wrapped up season, its run at season 3. But yeah, I'm glad he's back on this at least. So check it out. If you're a Justice Society fan, or if you're a Jeff Johns fan, or if you're a Jerry Ordway fan, you will want to pick up this book.
Short and sweet.
There you go.
There we go. All right. Yeah, my number 5 was Batman Avengers. This has been awesome. Number 4 was Noctera, issue number 12. Fun series. Number 3 is Justice Society, number 3, because it's a mid book so far.
You're a mid book so far.
As you just stated for me. The problem is that it's more Helena than anything else, which is okay. But I mean, like, I like seeing some of the other characters too, than just being like, okay, we're kind of like, here's Dr. Fate, and then boom, he's gone. Hawkman, gone. My number 2, which you just saw, is Nemesis, number 3. And my number 1 book of the week. And Zach, I'm just so disappointed because this should be your number 1 book of the week.
Okay, Dad.
And
disappointed in me.
If I was your dad, I would disown you. It is just an awesome book. I mean, it is just what we want from Avengers book. We want a decent writing team here. Paul Levitz is amazing. Alan Davis's art is awesome. I just love the fact that I can actually go pick an Avengers book, off the shelf and not be worried about what the hell does Jason Aaron done to my characters, or seeing Captain Marvel here. That's basically Carol Danvers. Just being a bitch. I want more of the classic stuff. Seeing Janet here and kind of flirting in front of Hank Pym. I'm thinking like, oh, is he gonna slap her? Like, this is before the slap, actually. Seeing Tony in his armor, as far as like he has. Remember, he can only wear the armor for so long. Otherwise he has to recharge. Thor, if he doesn't have holding onto his hammer, you're like a 60-second rule, and he basically reverts back to Donald Blake, which we saw in the very first issue. And then somehow in the last issue, Thor appears, and he's like, oh, he's got his hammer back. So I was like, okay, we didn't see that. The other thing cool about here is we get to see classic Peter Parker from the early 60s, who just randomly appears, because issue 11, I believe, it was the original stuff we saw. Peter Parker was basically going against the Avengers, Spider-Man. So like I said, I just love it, dude. Yeah, Captain Marvel is the main focus of the new Avengers series, so I'll be taking a pass. Yeah, and I'm glad that she's not in this. I just love the original team, man. This is the original Avengers. This is what we want to see in the movies. And we got to see it a little bit. I would have loved to see Jan, and Hank Pym, along with Thor, Iron Man, just Cap. It would be awesome, You know, I mean, I love Paul Rudd and Scott Lang, but the MCU is very mid compared to some of the early books that Stan Lee wrote. But overall, like I said, it's cool to see a DC writer coming over and for the first time ever and writing an Avengers book and having, like, as you can tell, he must be a fan of the Avengers because the way he's very respectful, because it just feels like I'm just continuing. You could read this book and then go pick up issue 12, you know, after you read this series, and it would probably, it's going to tie in. It's you wouldn't even notice the difference. You know, it feels like a Stan Lee book. The narration, the way the books are aligned in here is like the gutters and, you know, the narration boxes, you know, just the work. No, it just, like I said, it is full. No, it is not on my list, Ash.
It's on mine.
Yes. Zach's gonna tell me about how many lesbians are in the book, and let me know if I need to get it or not. I can only have so many space lesbians, you know.
How many space lesbians do you normally have?
I'm not at liberty to say about that. But no, so like I said, I'm not a huge Avengers fan. That's the thing. I'm not a huge Avengers fan, and this has turned me into an Avengers fan. And wanting to go back and read some more of the Stan Lee stuff. So, and then also the Roger Stern, I've read that too. You know, and just like I said, I just want to read more Avengers books, and this is the goal of when you see new books like this, throwbacks to note writers, is to get people to want to read back issues. So it's done its job for me, at least. I hope that people who are the new readers come out and see this and will want to go back and read some of this stuff, because now the fact they can't say, well, I don't have the access to get this. Now you have options. You have the Marvel app. You can actually pick up. They even sell trades now. The little mini Marvels thing trades, Masters for $15. You can read the original issues. You don't have to like collect the issues and worry about, okay, because yeah, man, when these books came out, like, were coming out, if you missed an issue, you missed an issue. But
it's true.
I don't know.
Yeah,
like I said, this is an awesome book. Check it out if you haven't. I really recommend you get on it, or at least when the trade comes out. I think it's gonna be like 6 issues or 5 issues.
5, I think.
Yeah. The only thing that's missing about having a 5-issue thing is having 5-issue connecting covers that create like a poster.
Can we point out how King of the Dwarves there just looks like a Loki version of a chimp?
Why do you hate monkeys?
I don't hate monkeys. I'm just saying it looks like a Loki version of a chimp.
And of course, you would make fun of a dwarf, wouldn't you?
I love dwarves. Dwarves are one of the backbones of the Lord of the Rings.
And for in case you're wondering who this is, he's the dwarf king that basically made Mjolnir.
Hey, look, they got the corner box art.
Yeah.
I love the corner box art.
Did you see up here though? Approved by the TVA, Time Variance Authority.
Oh, that's actually funny. I didn't see that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, like I said, this is the cover I'm looking into. I said, I just love the original armor for Iron Man.
Who's that artist?
Said the original scales. This is, I believe, Caselli.
Stefano
Caselli. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. Do
you remember this? Remember we talked about this. When we do our Fantasy Four readings, we see Doctor Doom hovering over the city and stuff, illuminating the omnibus presence.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like seeing Kang kind of like that over here, like being a badass. And said, look at the guns on Thor, man. This is a man. Sorry, that is like, look at the muscles, everything. This is like Iron Man's just basically a guy in a suit and armor, and here we got the other guys are just the big beefcakes. This is what women liked back then. This is what women still like.
Hank is pretty jacked for a scientist.
I'm something of a scientist myself.
More like I'm something of a bodybuilder myself.
Like I said, it's just been a fun series, and like I said, I hope you guys check it out. Even if it's your cup of tea, Avengers. I'm not a huge Avengers fan, but I've just been reading this, and it just makes me want to go back and read some more Avengers. So, all right. So we're going to get into the trades now. All right, let's do this, and
No, Black Cat, that is a different Dwarf King. The one in Infinity War was, I think it was Eitri, Eitri the dwarf. This one I believe is Sindri. So different Dwarf King. Oh my gosh. The Gail Simone miniseries, The Variants, is in the trade paperback already.
Yes, yes, yes.
I feel
So
like
we
should
have Fierce
bad
State right here.
commentary
We
in
got going here.
theater.
We go. If you want that, go on I Love Comics. X-Men read by Al Ewing. The Variants trade by Gail Simone. Aliens. Yeah. Go read the Dark Horse versions. Deadpool by Kelly Thompson. No, that I haven't read Kelly Thompson's Deadpool. I did like her on
Black Widow.
What did we read? Black
Widow. Yeah,
that was cool.
I'd be curious
Deathstroke,
to see.
Inc. Year 1. There we go. Deathstroke Inc. Year 1. This is Josh Williamson, Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
Or should I actually take it back? This is Ed Brisson. This is after Williamson. So
yeah, that's after Williamson left. Yeah,
you want to avoid this at all costs. Take it back. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be Tom King. Between
Adam
Two Worlds.
Strange? I don't know.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Because Tom King did it. Didn't he do an Adam Strange?
He did do no, his was Strange Adventures, I think.
Oh, okay.
So that might not be him. I'll double check though.
Hawkman, we got Hawkman he's in here too. This is a Goyer 1. Includes Hawkman 23, 24, and 25. Plus, I think it's 42 through 54 of or something like that through of JSA, Jeff Johns Goyer run. This is a trade format. This is $40.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic the Hedgehog IDW collection. This is kind of cool. It's a hardcover. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't really see Sonic trades ever. Do you shop? Do you ever? I see
floppies. I see a few of them. The ones that I see are more modern. The classic ones, like if this is like the classic ones, then I would probably pick it up. I used to actually read a lot of the classic ones. I had a friend who would collect Sonic comics. Those are some of the first comics I read, actually, now that I think about it. That Adam Strange is actually written by Mark Waid and Andy Diggle.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, Mark Waid, I mean, you hear us talk about how his World's Finest is awesome. That Adam Strange trade might be worth looking at.
Half our crowd just left. We went from 20 down to 10.
Started talking about Mark Waid, probably. That's why.
No, I think it's because they like Tom King.
Oh, sorry, guys. Look, hey, the new issue of Danger Street comes out this week, so there's that.
Ash doesn't have any 4 or 5, but he has number 3 is Nocturne number 12. Nemesis number 3 is number 2, and Berserker is number 12. Oh, Nemesis is not number 1 this week. Berserker is. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
All right. Seven Sons trade paperback.
Yeah.
And the Aliens cover. And
speaking of Dark Horse, that Star Wars Legends, that's the Dark Horse comics, not the Marvel ones. So I may pick up that. Go to In Stock Trades.
It's weird that it says Marvel on it though.
Well, it's being printed by Marvel because, of course, they own the Star Wars name. But they've done this with the books where if they call it Star Wars Legends, it's stuff from the EU, from the expanded universe before Disney.
Ash, the reason Berserker wasn't on my list because I really didn't care for the last issue. It's kind of fallen off for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's probably gonna be my number 6 this week, or even maybe my number 7. Who knows? All right. Bruce Wayne, Not So Super. There you go.
God, I hate these young adult books.
Mad Cave, the Carbon Line, Volume 1, trade paperback. That's kind of ominous. That skeleton inside an astronaut suit, and then the skeleton reflection in the Earth. Crazy. All right. And then, Marvel Masterworks, Uncanny X-Men, Volume 15.
Yeah, there you go, Ash. There's a trade for you.
And then I tried to get rid of the manga stuff over here too, but apparently I didn't realize that these companies are mangas.
Chainsaw Man will not be denied.
Yeah, well, it's covers coming soon. So this is Uncanny X-Men 220 to 231. That's what that is. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
What is this? Rebellion. Oh yeah, this is what's his name's print. This is Garth Ennis's print, but it's not Garth Ennis. It's Tom Tully, Mike Western, and Eric Bradbury. Right. Oh, Leopard from Lime Street. Revolvers number 1. All right, and then what is this? The Metropon. I hear you swallowing in the background. Throw me off.
I am so sorry. I didn't realize it was that loud. I haven't really listened to the microphone. Bloop, 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 bloop. Sorry, guys.
Ah, look at this. Titans now has a Sherlock books.
Why? I'm. God.
A Scandal in Belgravia.
Why do we need more Sherlock?
It'd be funny if it was the scandal in that country that the twins are
Bohemia?
from. No, the one that Age of Ultron.
Oh, Sokovia.
Yep, the Scandal Sokovia. That'd be great, Sherlock.
They're not really from there in Marvel. They're from like one to.
So yeah, so trades of the week on Kenny X-Men, and I would say JSA, man. That's what you're looking for. If you really want to, you can try out Batman Fear State, but it's Miracle Molly, and it just wasn't that great. But you do have Jorge Menez art on there though, so you're getting that at least. I'll give you that. So,
for what it's worth, yeah.
Why do we need more Sherlock? There's hardly any.
Yeah, but do we need more of the BBC Sherlock? Like
the last time I saw Sherlock Ash was in Planetary. So I need more Sherlock.
He was. That is accurate.
All right, guys. So that is this for this week. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen right now. I hope you guys saw some books on there that maybe you guys are actually interested in buying, or just maybe just perusing, looking at them during at the comic shop, and just like maybe something you might want to pick up. The other great thing is that even if there's no books you saw on our list that you thought like, oh, they look maybe cool, stop in your LCS, support them out. There's always back issues. I honestly, if you're a comic book fan, there's always stuff you're looking for. Maybe you don't have that JSA trade, or some of the back issues. Go pick them up. Alex Ross covers, which are currently on the back behind Zach right now on this wall. Those early JSA Alex Ross covers.
There you go.
Like I said, fun story, man. I always get a kick on when the comic book takes place in my city, because I don't really live in the big cities, like Los Angeles or so, known things. But so it's like whenever like my small little city like Milwaukee picks up, it's like, oh hey, I know that town. So yeah. So we'll see you guys. I guess there is some reviews tomorrow. Look for the puppets going to be on here. You're going to have Froggy and Puppetine, 2 puppets reviewing Superman and Lois season 3. Premiere is tomorrow. Also, stay tuned. There's going to be some more Bad Batch and also The Mandalorian. And I think that's about it. I don't think the puppets are going to be reviewing God of the Nights, God forbid. But stranger things have happened. And then check us back on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central. We'll be back again to talk about which books we got and just show them off. Hope you guys had fun. Check out I Love Comics right now. They are playing a game over there on live stream.
Yeah, I'm about to hop over there. Actually, I didn't know they were doing that tonight, so I'm about to hop over there because I wanted to be one of the players.
You were supposed to be doing Planetary, bro.
I was able to squeeze in the ending of it today, so when the reading club starts, I'll jump in there. But
it's starting as soon as we stop.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I got too much going on.
No loyalty.
I'm gonna have to drop something one of these days. I'm getting too much to do on Tuesday nights. I remember when I used to be able to go to sleep on Tuesdays.
You can in the reading club if no one calls it your name.
I may join in the reading club and just be like a type only member tonight because I did read it. I do have thoughts on some things. But no, I'll see what I can do though. I may duck out early. But yeah, join us back. Like I said, tomorrow for show reviews, and then Thursday for comic reviews.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye.
And thank you for watching.